Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we take a look at Keeneland's makeover just ahead of the spring meet. And officials are continuing to investigate an officer-involved shooting that happened over the weekend.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just a few minutes past 5:30 on Tuesday, March 5th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. A lot of clouds across the region right now. They've been increasing now since about 2 or 3 o'clock this morning, and temperature-wise in the mid-50s in the heart of Perry County. Hope you enjoyed the last couple of days. The infamous phrase, all good things come to an end. I know we use it way too much in weather, but nonetheless, we could use some rain as the scattered shower pattern develops heading through this afternoon, and then tomorrow looks like a washout. All right, temps this morning getting you out the door, ranging basically from the mid-40s, Ashland, Middlesboro, to the lower 60s out toward Pulaski and Wayne counties. Here's that increase of cloud cover the last couple of hours. And we see some moisture building on the other side of the Mississippi Valley, down just south of Nashville. And that's the moisture tracking this way for the developing scattered shower pattern heading through this afternoon. Before then, I think we get some partial sunshine this morning. That allows us to warm up to 74 before the shower pattern starts to develop. More about your First Alert 7-day forecast coming up through the rest of this half hour. Olivia?
Thank you, Tim. A $93 million renovation project is underway at Keeneland in Lexington. With the spring meet about 1 month away, we wanted to check in to see how work is going. Kelsey Soto takes us to the construction site to see what fans can expect.
Helmets for the jockeys and hard hats for the contractors.
We've removed what was our administrative office structure right here to make way for the larger facility.
Kara Heisenbuttle says there's a noticeable absence as you tour the grounds of Keeneland. Construction work began at the beginning of the year, paving way for new seating, more dining and viewing, plus a visitor center.
Keeneland always tries to strike the perfect balance between preserving racing's rich history and providing that experience that fans are used to, but also being innovative and making changes along the way.
In these renderings, you can see the 3-level building will connect the south gate to the saddling stalls. The expansion means more people can enjoy race days. Some Saturday spring meet tickets sold out within 15 minutes.
We encourage everybody, if there's a dining room or space you want to be in that's sold out, go ahead and get on the wait list because we have a generous return policy. If fans aren't able to come within 48 hours, they can return those tickets at a full refund. And we put those back out there for our fans. So get on the wait list because you might have a chance to purchase the tickets that you want.
As you plan your visit, you can expect some changes to parking and entrances. Things will look a little different as they build this new experience. But don't worry, the heavy machinery work will happen at night after all guests have left the track. In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.
The new structure will offer an additional 1,400 tickets per race day. They hope to have the project finished by August of 2025, just in time for another fall meet. March is Women's History Month, and Ashland is celebrating by sharing the stories of women who lived at the historic Henry Clay Estate. The Women's Voices Tour will take place every Tuesday and Thursday this month. Ashland's Executive Director Jim Clark says visitors will get to learn about women like Henry Clay's wife, Lucretia, and great-granddaughter Madeline McDowell Breckenridge, who was Kentucky's foremost suffragist.
History has many dimensions to it, and to understand what Henry Clay did, you have to understand what the people around him were doing. You go from, Lucretia, who liked staying here and sort of being behind the scenes, to somebody who was very out front on the national level, fighting for change and cultural development.
If you're interested in booking a tour, you can find a link in this story on the WYMT News app. Similar to last year, allergy season is here sooner than normal. Allergy doctors say the weather conditions are almost perfect for trees, grass, and weeds to start producing pollen. Dr. William Greisner with Bluegrass Allergy says pollen levels depend on several factors like region and time of year. Right now, levels in Kentucky are moderate to high.
Every part of the country does have some pollen that is unique to it. We do have all sorts of different varieties of trees here in Kentucky. Right now, we are seeing the tree pollen that's going to continue through the spring, late spring. That's when we'll see the grass pollen appearing. And then, of course, in the fall, we'll be seeing the weeds.
Dr. Greisner also advises that as pollen counts increase in the coming weeks, it's important to cut down on your exposure times, especially if you're prone to more severe allergies. Governor Andy Beshear was at the White House Monday for a roundtable discussion on lowering health care costs for Americans. Governor Beshear talked about efforts to eliminate roadblocks to health care for about 100,000 Kentuckians, along with expanding Medicaid access for hearing, vision, and dental coverage. The governor also mentioned restarting the state's health care exchange program, Connect. Governor Beshear also discussed the Pharmacy Benefit Managers program and changes he says has saved Kentucky families millions of dollars.
That single PBM that answered to us and not to any other company has allowed Kentucky Medicaid to maximize drug rebates and have saved our Kentucky families about $300 million since we've done it.
The governor also was joined by several pharmacy CEOs. Kentucky's top election official says he's not surprised with the Supreme Court's decision to overturn the controversial Colorado Supreme Court decision.
Former President Trump has not been criminally charged with insurrection, let alone has he been convicted of insurrection.
Secretary of State Michael Adams says he's finding secretaries of state across the country are largely seeing the decision as the correct one. Associate professor at the University of Kentucky, Dr. Stephen Voss, says it's a bipartisanship reflected from the Supreme Court's more conservative to more liberal justices.
Even the more left-leaning justices, the ones who are often anti-Trump, kind of showed their hand during oral arguments that allowing individual states to throw people off the ballot was likely to be a step too far.
The Colorado case is just one of several legal challenges the former president will face throughout the 2024 election cycle. And a bill that would change the way legislative vacancies are filled passed the House by an overwhelming 88-4 vote. House Bill 622 would strip the governor's authority to appoint a replacement U.S. senator should a vacancy occur. Right now, the law requires the governor to appoint the position. The bill would call for a special election to fill the vacancy. It now heads to the Senate for a full vote. Kentucky State Police continued to investigate a weekend officer-involved shooting. It happened in the Tetersville community of Harlan County. The Harlan County coroner pronounced 42-year-old Lance Wayne Bryson dead inside a home on Ohio Street. He was from St. Charles, Virginia. An autopsy was expected to be performed yesterday in Frankfort. It is not known what led to the shooting. No other injuries were reported. A death investigation is underway after troopers in Logan County, West Virginia, found two bodies while doing a welfare check. Troopers say when they arrived at the home in the 5,000 block of Garrett's Fork Road in Chapmanville, they found the front door open. Inside, they found the bodies of a man and woman, Charles Ray Adkins and Amber Yvonne Adkins. West Virginia State Police is calling the incident isolated and domestic related. And just ahead on Mountain News this morning, Taylor Swift is related to a famous poet. Find out who after this.
Weather-wise, we wake up to, yes, an increase of cloud cover the last couple of hours, and additional moisture comes into play. What does that mean for today? I actually got that one to rhyme. Your first alert 7-day forecast coming up right after the break.